Okay, so the way we do this process, we've finally got all the boxes full of honey out of the hive, and they're in my garage now with the door down so no bees can get in or out of here. So it's what we call a bee-free zone. And that's important because bees are ruthless. If they smell this honey, there'll be thousands and thousands of bees in here trying to rob these supers out. So we want to keep the door down and keep bees out. So the first process is we take the frames out of the honey. So here's a frame, and you can see that this is capped honey. So we need to cut that capping so that when we put it in the extractor and it starts to spin, the capping, if you don't cut it, will hold the honey in, it won't let it out. So we need to cut the capping, and we use this to do that with. So all I do is just push it in, pull it out. What I'm using now is just a scraper or a scratching fork, just to scrape off the cappings. So now you can see it's a little bit wet, and we're good to go. This side was opened, so I'm not going to worry about it. So then what I do is load it into the extractor, which can be difficult at times because these 10 frames are a lot deeper than the 8 frame mediums. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so I have 10 frames in there. So I'm gonna wash my hands and then we can start to spin that. So there's a saying in the beekeepers community that if you can find a 1 pound bottle of honey for less than $400 a pound, buy it, because you're getting a deal. Now the other thing that I've done with this honey is I've actually performed a test on it that checks its moisture content. So I know that this honey is dry enough to bottle. The key with honey, moisture is honey's enemy. So we want this to be dry, meaning around 18% or less, 18.5% or less water content. Now when bees collect nectar, that nectar is about 80% water. So when they bring it back to the hive, they have to dehydrate it. And they do that by fanning their wings over the cells, blowing bubbles with it to increase surface area and so on. So it's important that honey be dry, meaning 18.5% or less. Because if it isn't, it can begin to actually ferment because of the yeasts that are in the honey. And that we don't want. We've loaded the extractor, now we're going to start it up. So I'm going to give it a little spin, start the motor, and slowly start it up here. Now, one of the problems we have is, balance. Some of these frames are a lot heavier than other frames, so it shakes a lot. But you can see, I don't know if you can see, I hope you can see that we're starting to sling honey out on the wall already. So we're just going to let it sit at this speed and let it go for a little bit until that honey, as the honey slings out, the frames get lighter and it's easier to balance. Now once these frames are empty, I'll put them back in the box they came out of. And once we have all the honey extracted, we'll take all the boxes full of the comb, the empty comb, and put them back on the beehives. And the bees will actually move up into there and clean out all that honey, clean them, dry them out real well and everything. And then I bring them inside and I store them for the winter. And you can see that we have honey coming out of the gate valve. Okay, so as I take these out, I'm looking and I'm feeling for the weight. And you can, I don't know if you can see or not, but the cells are empty. and this is much lighter than when I first put it in. So that's what we're looking for. And that's how you extract honey. So what we'll do is we will fill up that 5-gallon bucket at the honey gate, and then we'll change the bucket, and we'll just keep doing that. We'll fill up 5-gallon buckets. A full 5-gallon bucket of honey weighs about 60 pounds. And that's how I'll store it. I'll put a lid on it, seal it and everything, and that's how it will store for the winter. Then what I'll do is I'll take a bucket of honey, pour it into my bottling tank, which is heated, it's warmed. It warms the honey up to about 90-95 degrees, and which allows it to flow much better, and I can fill the bottles that I use when I sell the honey. That's the process. That's how we do it.